How Buddhism teaches you to overcome everything from within. Life never stops presenting challenges. There are days when you wake up with a heavy mind, feeling exhausted before you even get out of bed. There are periods when everything seems to work against you, your career feels stuck, relationships begin to fracture, the future looks uncertain, and even you no longer recognize who you are. We often believe that the cause of suffering lies in circumstances. If life were easier, I would be happy. If others changed, I would feel at peace. If things went my way, I would become stronger. But Buddhism looks at the problem from an entirely different direction. The Buddha did not teach how to control the world. He taught how to master the mind. Because the external world is always changing. But the mind, when trained, can remain steady amid all turbulence. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. The greatest strength of a human being does not lie in muscles, wealth, or status. It lies in the ability to remain inwardly grounded when life begins to shake. This writing does not promise a life without pain. It offers something far more powerful, a mind that cannot be defeated by pain. 1. The mind, your most powerful weapon. Human beings are not destroyed by events. They are destroyed by how they interpret those events in their minds. Two people experience the same failure. One collapses. The other grows. The difference is not in circumstances, but in consciousness. Buddhism sees the mind as the root of all experience. When the mind is chaotic, the world appears chaotic. When the mind is calm, the world softens. We do not suffer because of what happens. We suffer because of the stories the mind tells about what happens. Training the mind is not about escaping reality, but about facing reality with clarity and inner stability. 2. Antifragile. Thinking the harder it gets, the stronger you become. Most people wish for a life without problems. But Buddhism teaches that suffering is unavoidable. The real question is not how to avoid suffering, but who you become through suffering. Anti-fragile thinking is not merely endurance. It is growth through adversity. Just as muscles only grow stronger under resistance, the mind also requires challenge to become resilient. Every difficulty brings patience, adaptability, deep self-understanding. When you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this shaping within me?" you move to a higher level of awareness. Buddhism does not encourage running away from suffering. It teaches standing still within suffering with awareness. From that moment, suffering loses its power over you. 3. Suffering as a teacher, not an enemy. We often treat suffering as an invader. We resist it. We resent it. We try to eliminate it as quickly as possible. But Buddhism views suffering as a strict teacher. Every time you hurt, you are invited to look deeper into your own mind. See your attachments clearly. Recognize what truly matters. There is no lesson more profound than one learned through direct experience. When you stop resisting, when you allow yourself to sit with pain without judgment, pain begins to transform, not because it disappears, but because you have grown beyond it. 4. Separating yourself from thoughts, the art of inner freedom. One of the greatest reasons people feel weak is that they believe every thought in their head is the truth. Buddhism teaches thoughts are phenomena. They are not you. Thoughts come and go like clouds in the sky. The sky is not harmed by clouds. When you identify yourself with thoughts, a negative thought becomes a verdict. A fleeting emotion becomes an identity. Psychological distancing, separating yourself from thoughts, is the foundation of mental strength. Instead of saying, "I am a failure," say, "I am having the thought that I am a failure." A small shift in language creates a space of freedom, and within that space, you regain the power to choose how you respond. 5. Observing emotions, not becoming them. Strong emotions can sweep a person away like a flood. But Buddhism does not teach suppressing emotions. It teaches observing them. Instead of, "I am angry," practice saying, I am experiencing anger. This difference is profound. When you become the emotion, you lose control. When you observe the emotion, you remain free. Mindfulness meditation trains this ability. Sitting still, observing the breath, watching thoughts and emotions arise and pass. No forcing change. No pushing away. Just seeing. When emotions are seen with awareness, they naturally soften. 6. Mental endurance, learning to stay with discomfort. The modern world teaches us to avoid discomfort. At the slightest inconvenience, we look for escape. But avoiding discomfort is the path to fragility. Buddhism teaches strength does not come from comfort, but from the ability to remain with discomfort. Cognitive endurance, mental resilience, is the ability to stay grounded when things feel unpleasant. You build it through small practices. Sitting longer in meditation despite restlessness. Remaining patient in difficult situations. Doing what must be done, even without motivation. Each time you do not run away, your mind becomes stronger. 7. Welcoming discomfort, the path to freedom. The paradox is this. The more you run from discomfort, the weaker you become. The more you stay with it, the freer you become. Buddhism does not promise constant comfort. It promises peace that does not depend on circumstances. When you learn to sit calmly within unease loses its power. You do not need everything to be okay for your mind to be okay. 8. Building a mental fortress against negativity. We often think mental strength means enduring more. But Buddhism teaches something subtler. Choosing what is allowed to enter the mind. The mind is like a garden. If you do not tend to it consciously, weeds will grow on their own. Negativity does not come only from major events. It comes from news that constantly plants fear, social media that feeds comparison, careless words from others, and self-critical thoughts within yourself. If you allow everything to pour into the mind unchecked, you will burn out without knowing why. Building a mental fortress does not mean avoiding life. It means actively protecting inner peace. Buddhism emphasizes mindfulness in what you read, who you listen to, which thoughts you believe. Just as you would not eat everything that falls before you, you do not need to consume every thought that appears in your mind. When a negative thought arises, do not suppress it. Recognize it. Then gently ask, does this thought nourish me or drain me? That single question already frees you from being its victim. 9. Nourishing the mind with positivity, not escaping reality. A common misconception is that positive thinking denies pain. Buddhism does not teach this. It does not ask you to pretend you are fine. It teaches facing reality without self-destruction. Nourishing positivity means seeing difficulty without despair, acknowledging pain without letting it define you. Gratitude is a core practice, not because life is always good, but because even within hardship, something remains worthy of appreciation. Each day, remind your mind, I am still breathing today. I still have the capacity to learn. I am still moving forward. These small reminders quietly reinforce the mental fortress. When the mind is consistently nourished, negativity does not disappear, but it loses the power to invade. 10. Transforming pain into power, the alchemy of emotions. No one lives without pain. The difference lies here. Some are crushed by pain, others are forged by it. Buddhism calls this process transformation. Pain becomes suffering when we resist it. We blame ourselves for it. We identify ourselves with it. Emotional alchemy is the ability to turn pain into wisdom. The first step is acceptance, not resignation, but looking directly at the feeling and saying, I see you. I allow you to be here. When emotions are allowed to exist, they begin to soften. The next step is listening. Ask the pain, what are you showing me? What am I clinging to? What must I release in order to grow? Finally, practice compassion toward yourself. Many people suffer not because of events, but because they condemn themselves. Buddhism teaches, treat yourself as you would comfort a dear friend. When you do this, pain is no longer an enemy. It becomes a guide. 11. Rewiring the brain. Intentional thought loops. The mind operates through habit. The thoughts you repeat become familiar pathways in the brain. If you repeat, I am not good enough, your brain accepts it as truth. The good news is, the brain can be rewired. Buddhism understood this long ago through mindfulness and chanting. Thoughts are like seeds. What you plant determines what grows. Intentional thought loops mean choosing which thoughts you allow to repeat. For example, I can face this. I am learning. I am not perfect, but I am improving. These are not self-deception. They are instructions for the mind. Each time you notice a negative thought, do not scold yourself. Simply replace it gently. Over time, old pathways fade, and new ones become familiar. 12. Radical acceptance, the key to inner peace. Buddhism teaches that most suffering does not come from events, but from the mind's resistance to them. We suffer not only because something happened, but because we think, this should not have happened. Radical acceptance is looking directly at reality and saying, this is what is happening. No added story. No judgment. Acceptance does not mean liking it. It means stopping the act of punishing yourself for it. When resistance ends, the energy trapped in resentment is released. You begin to see clearly. What can be changed? What must be released? A simple reminder. Things are as they are, and I can face them. That alone lightens the mind. 13. The next best move mindset, escaping life overload. Many people collapse, not because they are weak, but because they try to carry everything at once. Buddhism teaches living in the present, not to abandon the future, but to avoid being crushed by it. The next best move mindset means asking one simple question. Right now, what is the smallest step I can take? Not the perfect step, not the big step, just the next one. When you focus on one step, the mind comes. Action becomes possible. Motivation returns. Buddhism reminds us, a path is made by walking. You do not need to see the entire journey. You only need to take the step. 14. Strategic solitude, the power of being alone. In a noisy world, being alone has become a luxury. But Buddhism sees solitude as a profound source of strength. Strategic isolation is not withdrawing from people. It is returning to yourself. When you are constantly exposed to opinions, expectations, and comparisons, you slowly lose touch with your inner voice. Moments alone allow you to hear your true thoughts, identify core values, reconnect with your direction. All it takes is a quiet meditation session, a walk without your phone, an honest journaling practice. Silence does not weaken you, it clarifies you. 15. The warrior mindset, winning the inner battle. Buddhism often describes the mind as a battlefield, not between you and others, but between fear and courage, avoidance and confrontation, reaction and awareness. The Buddhist warrior is not aggressive. They are disciplined. They train through meditation to steady the mind, mindfulness to avoid being swept away, perseverance to not quit. The warrior does not wait for motivation. They act from commitment to the path of awareness. They understand. Fear is natural. Failure is a lesson. Progress is not linear. The warrior's strength lies in quiet endurance. 16. Conclusion, not a life that is easier, but a you that is stronger. Training the mind does not bring instant miracles. It brings something deeper, lasting transformation. You cannot control life, but you can master how you move through it. One mindful breath, one moment of patience, one choice not to react. These small acts Day after day, build an unbreakable inner strength, and one day, you realize life still has challenges, but your mind no longer panics. Not because life became gentler, but because you became steadier. That is the freedom Buddhism offers. Not freedom from life, but freedom within your own mind.
Thank you for watching until the end of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to watch more interesting videos.